Okay, should be live.
Nothing happened. You fucked up.
Didn't not?
Oh, now it's going. Now it's going.
Yay! Arc to arc.
Okay.
Hey. Damn.
That's it. That's the intro. Land of the
The
Lost.
only only show that is
We've almost completed every manga ever in existence.
Yeah, we're nearly done. Yeah.
we're getting there. We can die soon and be happy. Or at least die.
Or at least die, yeah.
Yep, by God. So we're starting with LOL.
Yes.
I think
League
you're the
of
first
Legends.
person who abbreviates it like that, but yes.
I'm gonna skip
Yeah,
ahead to where we were.
I gotta say, I'll just preemptively go.
Yeah.
It's not that this was painful, but I don't think I needed it.
Yeah.
That's
I
sort
feel
of
the same way too.
my experience
Okay.
as well.
Well, that'll make things that'll make things easier then. Yeah.
I said this last time that I probably would have preferred it if the manga ended with the previous volume and not with this one.
Maybe that's why I thought. Yeah, I just thought that these were all the volumes because it's like, that's how it ends. She sends everyone to the afterlife. Case closed.
Yeah. I definitely feel that way. The 10,000 years panel of her melting, that was fine.
Yeah, that is really cool.
It's a cool
We didn't
panel.
need any of this. In a way, it almost feels... It's hard to put into words. I almost feel like the author just really wanted to drive the point home and not give you any chance to escape from their conclusions. Where it's just, no.
Yeah.
People fucking suck. There's no hope at all. Don't you even fucking think of being hopeful for a minute, or I'll break your fucking legs. It's not enough that, we've basically destroyed the world that we started with. We need Foss to continue to transcend her humanity and then make a point of saying, I must destroy myself just to prove the point. They give you a little different stuff at the very end with her, with the pebble thing and how other people take mercy on her, but it is still pretty heavy-handed. I feel like it was the author beating a drum on some level.
We talked about, I felt like a pretty strong, spiritual resonance to the ending of Spirit Circle, where I was vibing with it, and I was like, yes, it makes sense to me. I don't really, get that much with her, interpretation at the end here of this metaphysical spiritual godly kind of resolution that we get metaphysics thing where it's that's cool, but it doesn't really say a lot to me personally. I don't find it very engaging interpretation. It feels very I don't like how kind of self-deprecating it is, and how it just matter of fact and unemotional it feels. It just that. I know that's the point of the the end of the story is basically just stripping the humanity out of everything, and so we just get a bunch of talking rocks being very nice to each other. But I'm I don't like this. I don't want this to happen. This is terrible. I liked it way more when there was talking gems. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just not my thing. The ending. I really like lots of the artwork till the very end. Yeah, there's some great stuff. I like this one a lot. Looks a lot like the Mobius Paradiso stuff, and when she does the praying, it looks like the Akira Tokyo Neo Tokyo nuking. This stretch is cool. I like the design of God Foss. I think she has some cool things. Look at her derpy eyes here. Whoa. She's almost like a Rorschach or like a fractal sometimes. She smiles. Yeah.
I have a problem. I mean, I know this is impossible to do, but I sort of have a problem with jumping from where we left Foss to basically enlightened God form Foss. That would be the most interesting part of her journey, would be to understand how she reconciles all this stuff, and we don't get to see it. We just jump right past it.
I didn't even think of that, but you're totally right. Like, yeah, that's where like the drama of the situation is. It's like they give all this thing to being like people feel bad for Foss and they're like 10,000 years. Oh, that's such a crazy long time. But then the manga skips past it, so it doesn't feel like it was a long time, or we don't feel that bad for Foss because we don't see her like struggling and having, you know, these epiphanies or whatever the hell happened to her. We just we just cut to her being fully resolved, and then she's just like she's not even a character anymore. She's like she is, but she's like so completely different and unrecognizable and like resolved that she's just like she has like a tiny bit of hangups about humans, but it's like you're right, the crux of the emotional like arc is skipped. That is weird.
Yeah, and then we have I don't know how many chapters. It was like 9 chapters or so that are abstract is not the correct word. I'm struggling.
Abstract is close to it. Like abstract was a word that came to my mind many times while reading it. Yeah, like surrealist kind of like abstract like artwork almost, where it's more about like shape and form and like contrast and pointillism than it is almost representation. There's that segment with like the black pages and the little squares and stuff. Like it's all cool. I just wish it was in service of something which I cared more about. Like I'm happy to look at this, but now I'm looking at it much more as like a series of like, you know, things like an art gallery than I am as like engaged reading a comic. In terms of
abstract storytelling rather than like the art. I like the art. The art is still great.
I like it too. Yeah. And but yeah, the story is as abstract. I mean, you have like these rocks singing to each other and and talking. I mean, also there's like weird like absurdist humor stuff, like the older brother like AI robot thing, just like talking about how he wants to have chips in his feet and.
How they smell like chips
smelling like potato chips and being like, I like this, and like, what? There was a lot of like,
a word I might use is unrestrained, because it feels like Foss gets to a point where, one, there's just very little to do in the first place, and two, she's basically a god and nothing is controlling her actions or constraining her choices in any way. In a weird way, it's strangely empty. Well, there's nothing to do and nothing to care about. It's just existing. Like it's just the state of mere existence, with the very minor threat of we might deal with the heat death of the sun at some point. Like that's really it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like it feels like the author like indulging herself in just her. Like just drawing what she wants to draw, you know, like without almost like without it mattering that it's like a comic. Like it's almost like a series of fun illustrations that she's just like she wants to represent this and this and this in a row, and it's still technically, of course, it's a comic and it's part of the story, but it feels like she's been like she wanted to kind of do some of this from the start, just like she loves just drawing like abstract shapes and has all these images in her head, but before they were. You know, she was doing that on top of like making it readable and have these characters and stuff, and now it's like indulgent, like pure artistry, which I don't have a problem with. Like this isn't bad by any definition. It's
not bad. It's just different from
it just feels it just feels a bit kind of unnecessary and self-indulgent, and I don't resonate with it very much on like an emotional personal level the way I did with like certain characters in the story so far in moments and scenes, where now it's a lot of like kind of just like philosophy with pretty pictures, and I'm just like, I mean, yeah, but I'm also like whatever.
The author is basically admitting the story is over yet continuing as part of the.
Well, she has to make it.
Problem is the right word.
I had an ugly thought while I was reading it. Where I was like, damn, she ended the story at chapter 98, but she knew she had to make it to 108 because that's the holy Buddha number. So it's like she forced herself to do 10 more chapters.
That's not crazy.
Yeah, she was like, I don't know what else to do. I'll just do like squiggly lines and and shadows and stars and clouds for the rest of the run, and a bunch of rocks.
That was like I forgot how long, if it was half a year or a year-long break between the previous volume and this one.
Yeah, this reminded me. I mentioned Mobius earlier for the godly scenes, but this reminds me of Mobius too, because like there are like World of Edena or the Incal or the Hermetic Garage. Like a lot of Mobius comics also end with like trippy, metaphysical, esoteric like endings where people like ascend into godhood or become luminous beings or turn into spirits and stuff, and sometimes it works and sometimes it feels like a bit more of like a letdown, where it's like I don't think that stuff is like bad, but it can be very hit or miss, whether it feels like, whether you're really like, oh man, this really hits me and I think this is like really gorgeous and emotional, and when it just feels just like you're kind of just like choosing one of the ways to kind of pull the plug, where it's like, I'm just gonna go crazy, and like whether you like it or not, is up to you. And it's like, okay, well, sometimes it doesn't work quite as well.
Yeah, I'm frustrated. I do find it frustrating because it feels very self-aware about the idea that just nothing matters at this point.
Yes.
Any basis for caring what happened is, long, long gone. I mean, in a way, it's almost like the evil twin of End of Evangelion, because it's also
yes,
a very
abstract
abstract loss of identity and apocalypse, like a status quo change so profound that nothing people believed before could ever matter again.
Yeah.
But where End of Evangelion was very personal and emotional, and it kind of cheats at the end by insisting upon individuality in spite of everything.
Yeah.
This is just totally serene, going, no, we're in Buddhist world now. Everything's over.
Yeah, drifting into death like peacefully, and the author is just very much like, no, humans pretty much sucked, and we're gonna just let everything drift into nothingness, and being like.
But the thing is like, if you go there, you're admitting the story's over, so why are we doing this?
Well, I think it's up to the individual. Like I'm sure there's someone out there who feels the opposite way. Like I feel like I resonate a lot with End of Eva like immensely, and to me it's like a very fulfilling, resonant experience. And this to me, I appreciate its value and I think it's cool, but it doesn't mean anything to me outside of like its objective facts. Like I don't glean much from it, and I'm sure that there's got to be someone out there who reads this and thinks this is the most gorgeous, meaningful thing that changed their life, and they saw End of Eva and they're like, what the fuck? So props to that. I wish I could have. I just wish the comic could have like played ball with me for longer, or stopped when it wasn't interested in doing so. But it's interesting. It's odd. Has she made anything else? No, right?
I don't know, actually. Maybe like some smaller things, like one shots or something. I don't think she has done anything else long.
I would love to see her use her style, but try and do something like very down to earth. Would be very interesting to see. Like tell like a story set in just like modern day Japan or something.
Yeah. Oh, no, what she should do? She should do like cool. A cutesy little school romance where one of the people has a disability, and it's about the trials and tribulations.
I mean, why not?
Of making peace with that.
Do like Takupi's original sin. Fuck it.
I'm referencing the To Your Eternity person, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a bit sleepy.
Sleepyhead Michi.
I mean, it frustrates me because you can think of stories as there's stability and the absence of tension, and then tension gradually goes up and things get less certain, and there's more conflict and what people care about.
Yeah.
And then the tension ebbs and goes down, and you have a more stable situation again, and then you're done, and that's fine. But we get to a point where there just is no tension. All the tension is gone except, again, the very minor threat of basically entropy. And that's just admitting that the story is over. I know I've said that before.
Well, yeah, but
I'm sorry.
I know what you're saying, because it's like...
If there is almost no tension, we don't know any of the characters, we're not invested in them. The new characters that exist basically don't want anything. They're literally minerals. If all that goes on, we eventually hit the point where it's basically the first 2 chapters of a new, worse story that we're not going to see anything of.
Yeah, well, the thing with it is like it follows the story to its absolute conclusion, like a bit to its detriment, you know, where it's like any work of art can do this. Like any work of art that ends where it actually ends, you can just continue. You could have continued it till literally like every single character in it is dead, and then the sun kills the earth. You know, like that is something you can tell. But deciding where you think the narrative has ended, so that the actual timeline doesn't matter anymore, is, you know, what stories do. Like I don't think FMA Brotherhood is improved by me watching the next 20 years of Ed and Al like have kids and make a family and stuff. Like the story you sign up for is the story of how they're getting their bodies back, and when they do get their bodies back, the story's over, you know. Choosing a jumping off point that makes sense is valuable. Like any story can stretch on forever. Like unless a nuke goes off and kills everyone in the story, and even then I guess you could do it. That's kind of what happens here. So it's like, yeah,
she literally obliterates all conscious life, then just waits for rocks to catch
exactly up. Like I don't think that's not something that people don't do because they haven't thought of it a lot of the time. It's just they don't do it because it doesn't make much sense to do, and I don't know if it makes much sense here.
This was kind of an epilogue that dragged to the point where it became the prologue to a story which sucks.
We wouldn't know if it sucks because
we don't know. But going off the fact that most of its characters are rocks who are just unilaterally like happy, I mean, it also just has stretches where I have no idea even what the hell is going on. Where I'm just like, we're literally like, it becomes so abstract, and the characters are all like talking bits of the background. Like, there's like Foss's rock like jumps around and breaks, and there's a panel here. Yeah, this one. Like, who is Is the moss talking here? Is a tiny fragment of Foss talking here? Is Foss still conscious? I thought she died on the thing. What is with the eye, dude? Like, it's. It's like it's not a big deal that I don't understand. It's not like I'm really raring to know, but it's just it just like that's kind of the feel. That's what you get from reading this stretch. It's like mild confusion and like being like, just be like, what is up? Like apathy and mild confusion, mildly confused apathy.
Yes. I'm also just willing to commit to the idea this author is the most misanthropic author we've read in a while. Just think of how much more life-affirming fucking Bokurano is compared to this.
Well, I was wondering about that. Maybe this is a worthless thought, but part of me, when she was doing that ending bit, and I was thinking of like the spiritual endings and other stuff like Ava or Spirit Circle and stuff, I was thinking to myself I thought maybe it's because she is a woman. Like I was wondering if maybe she has more of like a kind of like resigned like it's interesting that the character that kind of sets off Foss and Congo and his older brother's ideology of burning the bridge to humans is a woman scientist, you know, like it's kind of a very like, I don't know, it's like a very like weirdly self-sacrificing way, in a way that men generally want to like keep fighting no matter what and be like, no matter, you know, like men want to have an ending like Gurren Lagann where they're like, even if it means the heat death of the universe, you know, like we're gonna do this. Meanwhile, she's much more like, yeah, humans are pretty bad. I think it's best if we all just like accept it is what it is and drift away. And I know change is inevitable, blah blah, but still, like I don't know. I had that thought when I was reading it, where I was like, maybe I don't relate to this because I'm not a woman. I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't know if I have a compelling response to that.
It was just a random thought I thought I'd float out to make this a bit more interesting than just me scratching my head and being like, okay.
I think I find interesting, and I'm not sure if I find it to be a good thing, is when Adamant's brother basically reveals his reason to his reason why he miscalculated Dimitrio part with the boss of the scientist stealing all her work and like being like a horrible boss in general, and that's the reason why all of this happened is like a little fucked up.
Is he snuck him out in a coffee cup? Yeah, yeah. That was odd. Like suddenly, that is odd when that character shows up because he's basically like one of the few forms of consciousness left, you know, that you can like latch onto and be like, oh yeah, I remember things. Like yeah, before it was all singing rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. A bit of a mild disappointment, but nothing irreparable. Doesn't detract from. It's still a great manga.
For me, like for the whole thing, like it could have been close to a 10 if the ending was
not quite for me, but it could have been closer to a 9. I think it's like a mid to strong 8 from me.
This was never going to be a favorite of mine. This is one of those works I can respect, but I'm never going to love per se. I would say this is probably like a solid 7 for me. And I liked a lot of the... Oh, fuck. What part did I even like the most? I would say I liked some of the early stuff where Foss was still kind of enthusiastic and, you know, undamaged and, you know, just having fun with life.
Yeah.
And I think when we start to learn more about the Lunarians, where the situation with them is so complicated and so non-obvious, I like that stuff as well.
Yeah.
But there was a stretch in the middle where things were a little slow, and then the ending, I just don't like the ending because, again, it's not painful, but it's not painful in the way that sitting in a white room is not painful.
Yes, exactly.
It's just not a story at this point. Like we're done with the story. It's just stuff. It's just stuff happening.
Yeah. I'm with you. I enjoyed the story all the way through till the end bit. Yeah, definitely stronger. I don't know if they're like, I think that was the most exciting part, the Lunarian action stuff and Foss like kind of turning traitor and then being like cracked Foss and the big confrontation. Like that was all the most exciting stuff. The person in terms of relationships, I really like a lot of the relationships Foss has with a lot of the characters. Like I really liked her stuff with Cinnabar. I liked her stuff with Antark.
Who's Cinnabar?
Think about it.
I liked her stuff with Antark and then later Ghost and the Cairngorn, and all that stuff. A lot like this story had a lot of stuff that I was interested and invested in, and it's kind of sad that like a lot of it didn't get a resolution really, because like you can say it did. Basically, you can just say like the resolution was the last thing that happened in that thing, but like so many things are just kind of like, you know, like Diana and Bort don't really ever seem to like they have like a moment, but we don't really get them to like dish it out that much. Foss and Cinnabar kind of just like drift apart and never see each other. Certain characters I really liked at the start, like Yellow Diamond, just goes crazy and just is like, and then that's that. Like, Ghost doesn't reunite with Foss. We don't get to see, you know, the whole, because we see like Ghost's like her spirit, but we don't get to see anything with her and Cairngorn and stuff. Like there's whatever the fuck being back with the scientist chick, like that doesn't like there are so many of these interesting relationships I can pick off the top of my head where I was like, man, that's going to be so cool when it gets resolved, and then it's just kind of like, oh well, sorry, the universe ended, so none of it happened. And I'm like, oh, okay,
this happens.
It didn't have like a bad ending, but a lot of stuff was left kind of hanging, and instead, like, I wish these 10 chapters had been put in the middle and everyone had solved like what their deal was, and then the nuke had gone off. Oh well. Okay, I think I've said my
Sorry,
piece.
man.
Yep.
I don't know how much I have to say, really. It's,
I think we can.
I'm done with that one.
It's fading away.
By Land of the
Like
Legions.
This is what Redditors experience when they die.
Yeah. Which one are we doing next?
Oh my god.
Your Eternity was the usual pattern.
Okay.
Nani? Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Is this loading?
No.
Oh, there we go. I hope you like Anton Day.
You see a lot of.
Yeah.
No.
No? Oh dang! What a close.
I mean,
it was a close miss.
I didn't like this stretch as well.
It's not bad, but I'm not a big fan either. Yeah.
Like the previous stretch was fine because it introduced everything, but my main problem with this one is it feels like a repeat of the first stretch. Like we don't progress very much. It's just the same situations over and over again, and that's just too much.
This is kind of my problem with this. I don't know what you call it, like a saga, I guess. Like it's bigger than just an arc. It's like this era. My problem with the final era of Tears of Eternity is that, like, because the situation is so much more confrontational than it was in either of the previous ones, like, you don't really get to have a lot of the slice of life stuff that made the other parts, like, fun and interesting, and it's a lot of, like, getting chased around and having these kind of like pointless fights.
This stretch
and being on the
was
run.
entirely plot. Like it was almost 100% plot.
It's not even.
Well,
as I said, it's just repeats of stuff that we've already seen.
That's what I mean. Like that's the kind of
bits of progress towards
the kinds of interactions you can have in the setting is like they try to do stuff with Kybra and the Kybra chases them. Like the next bit for me is my favorite part of this, because it cuts away to a completely different side story, basically, which is involved in the main action but is not the main action, and I like that bit so much more than the rest of this arc. It's a bit unfortunate.
It's like it's interesting that part of the main conceit.
Tried to blast through it.
I did too.
What?
I was saying I kind of gave us like a longer stretch to read because I kind of wanted to get past this quicker.
Yeah,
I was just
I'm glad about that. We don't linger on it.
Yeah, that's a good call as long as you're not expecting us to have been really invested in it.
No. This is one of my least favorite parts of the whole manga, probably.
Fuck, now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
What was I going to say? Oh, right, yeah. I thought, like, it's strange that the main conceit that it sets up at the beginning is, we have to go look for the sphere. And then there's one single chapter in here that deals with it and one dream sequence.
Because we have to find out about Anton Day. He's the main character. Did you forget? It just feels like we said this. I don't want to. I mean, the manga is repeating itself, and now I'm going to be repeating myself. But like last time, how it felt like she's a bit kind of tired and losing steam, and it feels like that in here too. And the artwork feels like that too, where it's like there's some good looking stuff in here always. I mean, she's always going to be incredibly skilled, but like there are like panels in here that feel very like kind of boring and bland compared to stuff from earlier in the manga, and it's just kind of like, and it's a lot of like messy, like too many people running around, too much like backgrounds, too much kind of like goofiness. Like the tone is also not great. Yeah, it like shifts around a lot. You have like Anton Day being like horrified that he murdered someone, and then he's turning into a penguin. And there's like a zany, kooky uncle running around, and like I'm trying to be invested. I was much more interested in Gugu trying to get a girlfriend while his face is fucked up than I am in this like cataclysmic world end thing. Like I like the doll.
It's hard for me to think of any part of the story I wasn't more invested in because none of this is personal at this point.
Right.
I guess for the doll it kind of is. What does that even mean?
That's what the emotional core of the stretch is going to be with, is the doll and the Mizuha clones, but we're just like hinting at that, and the Fushi gang has like next to nothing to do. They all have the same objective, which is the opposite of the entire show. The manga so far, everyone has like their own little things they're trying to do. Now they're just like, we're the Fushi crew, and we just run around and use our silly powers, and like, okay, it's like, might as well not be
no
here.
No one has anything personal to do, really. It's just team versus team at this point,
this
which
stretch
is
different.
Famously something I get really mad about.
This stretch wouldn't be that different with just Fushi. Like the doll finds her way to Fushi, And Fushi hears her and is like, oh yeah, you know, back in the old days, yeah, I had all these friends, but they've since moved on. And but you're telling me about these Mizuho clones, you're telling me about these things. Like, I want to help you, you know, because I live forever. Like, I have no choice here. But like, yeah, I don't think the rest of the ensemble has. They're not exactly Flanderized, but they're getting to that point sometimes where they're just like, they kind of have their shtick and they're like doing it. Like Messar just runs around punching people, and March just has silly lines about her plushies, and it's like, okay, Bon isn't just a goofer. He's like a emotionally resonant guy who starved to death and sacrificed himself for Fushi and is like the MVP, and now he's just like, hee, I'm goofy.
Yeah. I also think like it feels like Fushi himself also has regressed. Like when he does not tell them about the execution of the Mizuho clones. Like, it's been 500 years, Fushi. You should to tell your colleagues everything.
Sorry, Green, we cut you off there. Well, I mean, you cut me off cutting you off, so it's fine. My huge frustration with this is, it feels like no one has an individual goal, where it wasn't so bad early on because it was a hectic situation where they're establishing things, and I'm willing to believe that, you know, these characters have more goals that we don't see at this moment, but it's just a very urgent situation, so, you know, we have to watch a few action scenes with other characters before we get into it. Now we're at the point where it really feels like just these guys have been hanging out for hundreds of years, and none of them have had any kind of ambition other than just unconditionally doing what Fushi wants them to do.
Yeah.
And that's bizarre. Like, that's just not who these characters are, I think.
I know.
I don't want to be
well, initially.
Yeah. I don't want to be too mean about this, because these characters, this author has done such a good job in the past, but I keep thinking, Messar, is he really down to just be Fushi's errand boy for 200 years at a time when he was already seeming odd?
I get it with March, but
Tonari, how have Tonari and Fushi not had like a resolution to their romantic tensions, at least? Because that was such a present thing pretty recently, but now it seems like, okay, Tonari even seems to be having, I don't know what they meant by this exactly. Tonari even seems to be having like minor quibbles with the Anton Day guy, or at least flirtations.
Keep in mind, it's been like, I think it's been 200 years since what was he called, Yuki or whatever, died, like, and but like 60 years before that, like teen high school Tonari was starting to have feelings for Fushi, right?
Yes, was the thing.
It's been like 300 years almost, and she's done nothing, and she's still like hung up being like, oh, the type of guy I like has like silver hair and is lean, haha. Fucking do something. like it's just like, I understand, with characters like, the only ones that make sense to me would be like March, because she's like a child, and it's like a mother-son relationship, so it's like, I understand that's like a stronger bond, whereas she's like, I'll follow you to the ends, you know, Fushi, where it's like a thing. But so many of the other people, they could have had many lifetimes by now and still like got off at some point, or they're still alive but they're not with Fushi, like they're doing other stuff. Like it just feels strange. And like, because the story doesn't seem interested in them. Like, this is the story of the doll, which the doll is connected to the Mizuha clones, and it's like Fushi's hang-ups with Mizuha. That's like the most interesting thing. It's like she was the closest thing he ever had kind of to like a romantic relationship, and she's long dead, but now this kind of past is coming back to haunt him in a way. We have like this, I pause here because I like this panel of him, like him imagining the door opening and her being there, and he's like, that's silly. The doll's related to that, and the Day brothers are related to the Mizuha clones. Like that's the character cast. Like what are all these other people doing here? Like Tonari has this extended sequence with Anton. To what end? Like, that didn't really teach us or tell us anything, you know.
I gotta say, the only moment in this, I mean, a little bit of stuff with the doll, but of the OG characters, the only moment in this that felt like Old to Your Eternity was when Tonari is trying to trick / seduce the genetically modified 8-year-old, and there was just a bizarre comedy sequence of her, I guess, pissing herself. I think.
Well, she says she's gonna piss herself, but she doesn't do it.
Okay, that was just an utterly bizarre situation, which, that feels like just a bizarre character moment that this author would do.
Yeah, I'm okay with that in isolation, but but with so much going on, it's hard to appreciate that, like, there's little moments and stuff in here that I like and find amusing, but overall, what is happening? Like, it's...
I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying. It was the only moment in the entire show when it should have been... there should have been dozens of those in a stretch this long.
Yeah.
I can't be too mad, but this locked in. The author just kind of ran out the premise and is kind of hitting reset a little bit where, we'll have a different semi-human monstrosity learn life lessons or something.
I don't know what the deal with Anton is, because he's like... I don't know. He just doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, I get... Like, there's a potentially interesting thing to be told here, where it's like, this is such a dystopia, and like, literal child is given like these godly, like, strength and powers, and he's like being like a spoiled child, like the worst version of like a spoiled child kind of thing could be. But it's like, it kind of just gets resolved very just like, they just like defeat him, and then he's like, I'm just hanging out now, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, that was.
He didn't really like learn a lesson. He was just like
confused.
He was just
I didn't even understand it was him really.
Well, that's normal Anton before he got modified, and like that's if you recall.
And they take his chip out, so he does not have the powers. Then.
Yes, like that was the beginning of this whole stretch. Was like child. Oh God, and I don't even remember his name. His brother. Like, as a child, with the parents, Abel picking out, like, let's give him different colored eyes and all this stuff. And it's like, it's set up, but really Anton doesn't really do anything for the rest of the story that much. Like, his brother is the real important character in this, and Anton is just like, but so much time is spent on him. Yeah, no, he is. Like, and this is the best part of this, is probably like the flashback stretch, just because it's setting up what I think is the worthwhile story in this part. Yeah, I don't know. It just unwieldy, a bit too complicated and unfocused. Are all things I could throw at this, and also I don't like to look at it as much. I enjoyed how it looked before. I liked the medieval stuff. I loved all the character artwork and angles and the creepy knocker stuff and the memory stuff when back in the day. I like the doll. And I like Anton.
The doll is cool.
The doll is always fun. The doll is always cool. But she also, she's limited by her, by definition.
She gets less to do with this stretch than she did.
Although she does a superhero punch at one point.
She does. She punches a woman in the face and gets, like, caught with gooey, sticky stuff. Which, is cool. I like Abel. He's cool. I like the idea of, like, wanting to... not be modified anyway. Like, his glasses aren't just for show. He's got the chip on the outside. Is cool. Like, this is all the neat stuff. I mean, but like it's a smaller part, and I don't understand why we took so long to get here. Like, start with this.
And we're also to the point where none of the interesting character things have anything to do with Fushi.
Yes.
Fushi's just a non-entity in his own manga at this point.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, he should be, like, much more... Like, he has a tiny bit of, like, missing Mizuha, but he misses her the same way he misses everyone, where he's just like, I like humans and I'm a nice person. Like, it'd be funny it'd be more interesting if he was, like, really hung up about it, Like, he had been, like his friends had left, and he's like, now here at the end of everything, when I think about who I miss the most, I feel a bit bad, but it's not even most of my friends. It's Mizuha. I really thought we had a connection there. I wish I could see her again, but she's gone to the other side. Like, it's sad. And then being like, but she not, there's this connection here still, and I'm going to follow up on it. Like, that would be a more interesting, like, streamlined, effective story to me, and that's what I enjoy in the stretch, is that story that I kind of make up for myself within it, because all the elements are here and focus is given to them, but it's like it's like 3 chapters of Anton Day, 1 chapter of flashback, 5 chapters of Kybera Core, and 1 chapter of the flashback, and I'm like, okay, that's it's just not what I want.
It's just exhausting.
Yeah, it's
the
tiring,
author has thrown in the towel but doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
If this ends okay, this final stretch will still be good enough that it deserves to exist. But if I'm ever telling people about this manga, I'm totally going to tell them after Mizuho, you can basically tap out. It's really not the same story after that.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to be that mean.
No, look, I don't think
cool.
I think you guys are gonna like the next stretch. You're gonna like all the backstory that is being hinted at here and what the resolution is. Like there is stuff.
It starts with
there's
man-made horrors beyond our imagination.
Yes, there's stuff to there's stuff to look forward to. But like as taken as a whole, the third section is definitely the weakest. I don't think it can be argued otherwise. And I wish it could have like stepped back and maybe even like hiatus for a bit and come back with like a stronger whole section, because the other two bits feel very like solid, especially the middle one, compared to this. Yeah.
Ending stories is hard.
Two of our mangas had adults hitting on like dumb kids, and but it's okay when Tonari does it.
Yeah, that was odd. That was legitimately. I mean, I was paying attention for the first time in this stretch, but I was partially confused because he puts her on the giant glue trap, and there's a moment where she's hugging him and realizes, oh man, I might feel the call of nature.
Yeah.
And that was so just bizarre in its timing that I was confused. I was like, wait, does call of nature, usually that means they have to go to the bathroom, but that's so jarring and out of place. Does that maybe mean she is attracted to this kid? I don't get it.
No, she's not attracted to him.
Yeah, and then later she's like, "Oh, hey, I pissed the bed," and it's like playing into like his childish sentimentality of like, "Oh, I better handle this because that's what you do when that happens." Like, it was just weird. It was hard to even know what she was trying to do at times.
And then we end on the cliffhanger of ripping your face off and feeding it to the knocker flower that spawns Mizuhas, I guess, or something.
What the fuck is going on? I mean, this is Lovecraftian and interesting.
Yeah,
again,
this is more interesting than so. I'm sorry I made you guys go through the worst stretch of To Eternity.
That's how the story goes.
But that's how we're feeling
eventually.
Okay, shall we Boku Ran?
Yeah, shall we do the good one now, perhaps, maybe?
Man, how do you feel about dark themes?
Yeah, well, we're doing...
we're doing everything here. We're doing bullying, we're doing rape, we're doing it all.
These are definitely the two darkest parts, which is why I put them together.
Yeah. And they're
also
connected.
Interesting... Yeah, I mean, they're connected in various ways. Also interesting because this is the part of the story where the anime starts to significantly branch off. Yeah. But it manages to kind of keep the spirit of the story as opposed to later anime stuff where it's just garbage and it makes no sense and no one likes it.
Yeah. I keep finding myself conflicted about which parts I like more in the anime and more in the manga, and it's interesting to ponder. You know, I was thinking about the aquarium while I was reading. I was thinking about, not including certain things.
This is gonna be maybe my most controversial claim, but I think I like the anime version of this better than the manga version.
What are the differences? Because I've only seen the one thing like that not threw me off, that surprised me and that I did not remember is obviously Shizu stabbing the guy, because I sort of remember the aquarium stuff where I think he dies in the aquarium.
Yeah, that's the thing. In the anime, they move the scene where he tries to force himself on her onto like an aquarium date. I forget if he invites her to it or if he just finds her there. But yeah, when he's
I think it's like this, where it might be partially with Dung Beetle's prompting, but he panics. I think it's the same. He panics that he's gonna die, and he becomes
like, I don't want to die
fascinated
a virgin.
with asking out the girl that he likes.
Yes,
and
she's got a lot going on that he doesn't know about.
And he gets them. He gets them to go to the aquarium, but then the enemy attack starts happening in the aquarium.
Yeah.
It collapses and kills the guy.
Yeah.
And she lives to fight another day, which is kind of different. In the manga, they really lay on how much this guy fucking sucks. Like, even his family hates him.
Yeah, everyone hates this guy. He's the worst. No one mourns his death. The man, that's the thing with that. I think I like this version more in regards to him dying. Like, I'm not. I think.
Yeah,
I like
way more
her stabbing him makes much more sense because she's completely. Her life is fucking over. She is completely past everything. She's about to kill anyone who has wronged her, and and this guy's gonna die anyway. Like, her stabbing him makes sense to me in the moment. She's beating the shit out of this other guy. He's just being a prick. He's gonna get them all killed. So she just is like, and he tried to rape her earlier, so she's like, fuck it, and fucking slices his neck. Like, him dying in a rubble thing, not only is it just a deus ex machina, but it also like removes all of her like guilt and complicity, where it's like, oh, thank God I didn't have to get nasty with him for trying to force himself on me because the ceiling killed him. It's like, well, okay. And the anime doesn't have. I like this exchange they have here, which is not in the anime, where he's like, you don't want to, why don't we do it before we die? And she's like, I have done it. And he's like, what? And also she's like, she like teases him because he asks if it was a fat kid. She's like, maybe. Yeah, I'm telling you. And he's just like horrified, and it like it bubbles up, and the resolution of it is the stabbing in the neck thing. So I think that's well done.
My big problem with the stab in the neck thing, that is a very hardcore action, even for a traumatized, sad, broken person to take. Like, imagine how fucked up a girl this age would have to be for her to straight up just take a knife and jab it into another kid's throat. I'm not saying it's crazy. It's just a lot.
Maybe it would have been better if it still happens the same way, but it's a bit more it's less like cold and effective, where it's more her like freaking out, be like, stop it, and like jumping on him, and she like stabs him and he like stumbles back and he's like, how could you? And he like falls over. Something like that maybe is a bit better, where she's like, she's still meant to do it. Yeah,
would be good, but her freaking out after, like,
no. I don't know. I don't think she should freak out, but I think she should be like, I didn't necessarily like mean to kill him. I kind of wanted to stop him, but I don't mind that he died that much. Where it's like her stabbing him in the neck and then like slicing perfectly horizontally and like cutting out his throat is like really like executioner stuff. I mean, I guess she had a lot of practice imagining doing it on her teacher, but the one scene that's also not in the anime is the anal exam. Where everyone blushes.
The doctor,
including the little sister. My version just says a man. I was reading the physical copy, but yeah,
it's probably
an old man. Yeah, and everyone is like, my butt. This, before we get into like the meat of the Chizuru stuff, I want to say I really enjoy the this is where like the logic starts happening with like how realistic it becomes, where it's like the military gets involved and they're asking all these like pertinent questions that the reader has had for this whole time, and they're like, let's examine Earth, what are the mechanics? And then they also have like ulterior motives. Like I found all that stuff super interesting, where they're like, it seems like they want to get like a gauge on alien technology to attack Russia and America, and I love the scenes with Dungeon Meshi, as I call him, where he like, I love all this stuff so much. I love that he doesn't show up until the lolly calls, and then he's like, well, when a cute girl calls, and then the other one's like, fucking shit. Then he criticizes the girl's drawing, and we have a little panel of her being like self-conscious about it. Here's a good example of how much tinier he is in the fucking in here rather than the anime too. In the anime, he's like the size of this guy's head. Here is like the size of his nose.
I like him better as a little fist-sized guy.
Yeah,
that makes
he's
more
funny.
sense. Because why would he be huge?
Also, I think in the I noticed this panel. I really like this panel here where he threatens them with attacking the planet, but his head is placed so that it looks like he has a little Zerth body. Like, I really like this. Or he's like, I am Zerth. Yeah.
That is fucking genius.
I think in the anime he cuts the guy's hand off completely and then he gets a robot hand. What is it with these fucking stupid fucking unfaithful adaptations giving people robot arms like Frank Archer? Like, I like this version because I like I like seeing the cut interior of the gun and the guy's fingers, and then he brings him back and his hands on the floor in front of him,
which is almost meaner than just cutting off the whole hand.
Yeah, it is meaner. It's just great. Yeah, like all this stuff is great, and then it's so interesting too, getting like the glimpses of like how Dung Beetle isn't just. He's not just like an extension of Zerth or some kind of like AI or something. Like, he's clearly just like a dude who is a jerk, and he's like, like he does things where he's like, he tells the guy not to call him Kun because he actually wants them to call him Sama instead, and then he's like, fuck off to everyone. But then when the cute lady talks to him, he's like, this lady's got some brains on her. Okay, you know what? You can investigate Zerth. And it's like all these dynamics are super interesting. Yeah, they don't have this in the anime either. I don't think they have the dream sequence where he's dreaming about killing his bullies and raping them and beating the fuck out of his sister 50 billion times. Yeah. He's just not a...
Which is so real
and
not
a
so
good
petty.
Guy.
Just someone fantasizing about, oh man, I'd be so cool
realistic.
If
like, this
wasn't me.
I said that in the last stretch, but like, he is so good at just like capturing like real people. Like, this is just a guy who exists. Like, this like frustrated, bullied, like kid. Like, he's it's just like, fuck, man. He has nowhere to turn too. Like, you can't, like, you pity him and he's obviously like a piece of shit, but also you feel bad for him because he just has nothing he can do. Like, he's gonna die. His life up till now has just been like kind of like cowering and frustration and never getting to like do any of the stuff he wants to do so badly, and now he's just gonna die. That's it. Like, I can't blame him for running. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, we all make mistakes. Some of us only make mistakes, but we all make mistakes. So.
Also, it's great this little tiny string of hope they have for him, where like the military starts attacking, and he's like, "Hey, maybe if the military beats the robot, my life force won't get used." And then all the planes get cut in half by fucking laser beams, and and it's like, yeah, I don't think that's happening. All these goofy Homer Simpson bubble car planes are not making it out.
I don't think the show was, or I don't think the mangaka was even unfair about the distribution of, personality here, because in a group of, what is it, 15 people?
It's 12, 13, yeah.
13. No, in a group of a couple handfuls of people, one of them being an irredeemable coward that completely fucks everything up, that's fair. Yeah. Like, that's a reasonable thing.
Glass's kid almost was like that too, where he was like much self-assured, but once he killed his dad, he was also like kind of about to freak out, and he just threw his anger toward the robot instead. But like, there's a lot of people. I mean, and Chizuru isn't that great for a pilot either, because she's going to murder
like 8 people plus whoever was around
them at the time, and she steps on a lot of things. Well, shit. Let's get to the meat of the matter. No pun intended. And I don't think
the hero this manga needs.
God damn, there are so many memes like on Reddit and stuff about the teacher. Like, what do you even say?
Average public school teacher.
Yes, exactly. Most realistic representation of us. Okay, well, the difference is, to remind Jaws, in the anime, there is no... He's like I don't know how to say this without sounding awful. I don't want to say all he does is, but he starts an affair with her.
What you mean.
He definitely having sex with a minor student, but and he's like filming it, and I think he's selling the tapes. Like I think he's like I think he like films it and like sells off tapes of them having sex to perverts, and that's like the deal. And he's done it with other girls before too, and he's doing it with other girls at the same time. Like he's like a more kind of believable immense scumbag. But there is no him like pimping her out, and I don't think he's dating her sister in the anime. I think
he was. I feel like I remember something.
I think it's just much more subtle. Where
I don't remember the manga, the sister standing in front of the robot claw in the anime.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think later Chizuru sees it in some context, but it's not this really blatant thing. Where in the manga, the sister is literally standing in front of the teacher defending him. I think in the anime, it's implied or comes up. Oh, isn't there a scene where they're in like the fucking dinner table together?
And, maybe.
And like they come in and sit down.
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's been too long. We need to watch it again.
God.
I think there's I think that's it. I think I've got it. The teacher goes to meet them, and then the sister is kind of friendly with the teacher a bit, and then later realize they both fell for him when that happened.
Yes, that's it. Well, okay. Regardless of that,
I hope I was right. Okay.
And she's not. I don't think she's pregnant in the anime, because her being pregnant becomes a big fucking deal. Like it is here, but it becomes more even later somehow. Talking about the differences between the things, I think I think the anime version is better, but like not for the exact reasons you do. Well, you say, maybe you should say your thing first. Why do you prefer the anime version?
I think there's just a little more drama in the anime with Chizuru.
Really?
Because it's a more steady escalation, and it's not so over the top.
Right.
Where it really comes off more as tragic and unfortunate, where the teacher is, obviously doing something, very wrong, but it's not an act of, just pure savagery. He's not just a completely
this heartless monster.
evil fucking psychopath.
He's more like just like a weak perverted man. Where here he's like a mastermind fucking like psycho monster. Yeah.
It comes off more like a moment of extremely poor judgment that gets way out of hand. It doesn't feel like he was. It doesn't feel like he was planning it from the beginning.
No,
Where in the anime, where in the manga, he's just like an alpha tier, sexual predator.
He's
he's
like if he got discovered, there would be like this like months long gigantic court case that would be like televised and everywhere, and be like, this man has like 150 students have had their lives ruined by this man's fucking machinations and shit. What gets to me in the manga version, that there is something in the manga version that doesn't make sense to me, and that's what irks me the most, which is this.
Okay.
I'm gonna defend the teacher right now, and so everyone stop watching. No, here's the thing with the teacher. Okay, how he makes sense to me is not that he is like a completely soulless, heartless monster. He's a massive monster. Obviously, he's a bigger villain than fucking Griffith. Like he's one of the worst people in anything. But I feel like his emotions for the sister are like true love. Like he understands true feeling, and he cares about the people he cares about. But he sees the students not as people. Like the girls he does this to him is just like, these are just like worthless, I don't even think of them as people or as humans almost, and I just use them to make money, and they're disposable to me. I totally get that. What doesn't make sense to me is him going after the sister of I know the implication is they started dating afterwards, but once I thought the implication was that I think it
that
was
he used from the
afterwards.
beginning.
Okay, well, either way, it doesn't make sense for him to do it with someone who is related to the girlfriend he cares about. That makes no sense because all the girls he gets involved with, he understands that he's ruining their lives. Like they're either gonna kill themselves or end up like prostitutes or like slaves or just in this horrible thing where their life is going to be destroyed. Her little sister's life being destroyed is going to destroy her. Like why doesn't he care about hurting the feelings and destroying the mind of the woman he's planning to marry? That makes no sense. Like how does this work out for him? They live together for 20 years and the whole time Shizuru just acts normal and never brings up the fact that she's being forced to have sex with men
that he also does not care about the older sister.
But he does. Like more and more later in the manga, we see scenes where he's like, I know you don't. I know you don't. Yeah, I know you don't know that. But like, there's a big scene. There's a big hullabaloo where he makes a speech where he's like, my feelings for the sister are real. Like I've never done anything to her that's bad. I care. I want her to have my babies. Like they're like a real couple. So how did he plan to? Why wouldn't he care about doing the thing that the sister doesn't even have to find out? Like just Shizuru one day killing herself or being found to be pregnant at 14 or whatever, how old she is. Like any of those things would absolutely destroy her older sister. So why does he do it? Like don't shit where you eat, Like there are totally people who can have a normal home life, like the guy she kills, like this guy. I totally get this guy. This guy's obviously a huge piece of shit who has sex with children, but he compartmentalizes it, right? Like this is his real world where he has a wife and daughter who he loves and he doesn't do anything with, and then he has these moments where he goes over to a hotel and has sex with Shizuru against her will. Like, but he doesn't do it at home. Like that's not there. There's no risk of contamination of crossover.
I understand what you're saying. It's like it's on one hand it's so strategic and conniving,
exactly,
but then it's also supposed to be so impulsive that you would not understand how he wouldn't get caught.
He's like this Machiavellian mastermind who can do this with any of his class girls, and he's like, and his way of defending it, he always like, which is something I like, is that you see how many times he puts in like stop gaps where he's like. He's asked her multiple times, like, are you sure you want to do this? He's like, he mentions he has a girlfriend. Like, he only goes for it when he's 100% sure that they're, like, completely, like, desperate and will give themselves to him completely. Like, if he's so careful with everything else, why do this? Like, if you had this exactly the same way in the manga, but he's not dating the sister, then I would like the manga version more. But, like, the brutality of it combined with the sister, either do the sister thing but do it like the anime, or do the brutal like sex traffic route but not have the sister. That's my only qualm with it. I know that's a weird angle to take, but that's what bugs me. It just doesn't make sense.
You just feel like the characters are kind of inconsistent.
Exactly. Exactly. It feels like it's trying to be so cartoonishly like add all these things on it itself that it kind of starts to buckle a bit under its own weight, where it's like, how would this work out? Like, and I understand, like, adding the sister, that makes sense to me from a logistical, like, because it adds drama, it adds all this complexity to the situation, and it's a great scene, like, this scene is great on its own, like, having to be, like, to get through her sister to defend this horrible monster did all these things to her. Like that's good on its own, but like with everything else, it to me it just kind of it's too much. It's just too much, and it starts breaking apart. Yeah, that's the only problem I have with it. But it's still,
I totally understand.
It's still very unique and original, really, and you won't see it in any other story, which makes it worthwhile.
It does reach. Yeah. It does reach almost, old boy levels of darkness.
Yeah,
and
like it's cartoonishly. Like him just being like how could he? I know the implication is just a monster, but like him, just the thought of him being like, "Thanks for doing this, Shizuru," closing her in the thing, but then be like joking about her getting like an abortion and filming a birth video, and then turning around and going to.
Oh, that was something that got a little past me. I'm like, on what fucking planet? Getting to the point where he's like, we're going to have my 13-year-old 12-year-old student get visibly pregnant over the course of the school year, and then I'll kidnap her and she'll give birth, and then I'll kill the baby,
and then we'll give away or kill the baby.
That is reaching levels of unbelievably where the story is going so
and then
fucking far.
And then at the same time he's like, I'm dating their sister, like.
that was the part in the manga where it's just like, oh, come the fuck on. That would never happen. Like, the thing about, like, in the anime, you know, the sad sack teacher impulsively, you know, sleeping with one of his students, you know, in bad circumstances, that's obviously not okay, but that's also like grounded enough. That's something that happens every fucking day. Like every fucking day somewhere in like the world or the country, whatever, a teacher somewhere has an ill-advised fling with a way too young student. It's something that, you know, every small town, every 5 years, there's a fucking story in the newspaper. It's like, oh, Mr. Johnson's is fucking nonce. What do you know? The cartoonish supervillainy of kidnapping her and putting her in a hotel. I'm willing to believe that's happened once or twice, but probably not very often. The childbirth video thing, that has never fucking happened.
I will
once,
say,
ever.
I think you're mischaracterizing the anime version slightly, because I think she finds footage of other girls.
At the very end.
Yes,
she sees a camera, and that's part of why it works.
But I'm not saying I don't find it realistic. I also find that realistic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we should clarify with the anime. It does end with it getting much worse at the end, but you have the suspense of, for a long lead up to it, it seems like fairly grounded and believable and like fucked up, but not like satanically evil. And then at the very end you realize, oh, this guy was fucking planning this the whole time. He's way worse than we thought he was.
That's what makes the anime
in the manga
version.
It's just like he's like fucking Joseph Stalin.
Well, that's what makes the anime version what makes that episode of the anime work really well is that you find out when she does. Like, you thought you understood the wrongness of the situation because you were along in the show with it, where you're like, well, you know, I don't think this is right, but I accept that this is what's happening. Like, he's a pervert and they're having this affair and it's wrong, but they're in love with each other. But then you find out with her that, you know, he doesn't really love her. He's just using her, and he's even worse than you thought. Like,
and in both versions, I mean, we'll see as the story goes on. They just establish more and more that the teacher is just the biggest.
Yes, he's the biggest douchebag. But
like he hangs around to like taunt other people and bring it up. I mean,
and this thing of like this thing here. I'll just say it right now. Like, all this, him telling her what he does just results in them breaking up. That's all. Like, he doesn't go to jail or like he gets fired and then they break up, but he's just like hangs around. Like, what the fuck? That's realistic. Like, I just think it's funny, but I just have it. I take, and also, you know what doesn't make sense to me? Like, I'm not even like, I buy the thing of like him like basically like giving up students to be like raped and blackmail and sex tape and all this stuff. I get that. I don't understand how it's like it's just something that he does on the regular. That's nuts. Like like maybe he got away with it once or twice, but he would, you know, one of them would have killed themselves and given it out on a suicide note. One of them would have blabbed anyway because they break down and they got blackmailed, but everyone finds out and it was him.
This one teacher, one of his students gets pregnant every single year.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Like it comes off a bit as the author kind of like having heard about all these fucked up things, which definitely happen. I don't want to detract from that. Like, but he's acting as if it's just like it's like he's talking about it, but he doesn't really understand how it would really work, and he hasn't thought about it that much, and he's just being like, oh yeah, this is just the kind of fucked up stuff that happens. And it's like, well, yes, but not the way you're portraying it, where it's like, where it's being treated as just like something that could casually go on, where it's like, no, I don't think so.
I mean, I feel like in real life, when she, you know, went up and said, "Yeah, Sensei, I'm pregnant," he'd be like, "Yeah, let's have this conversation at the top of the stairs."
Yes, exactly. It would be like the first girl that got pregnant, and with the other ones,
I stole that, but it's a classic solution.
There had been like different. It's just done a bit clumsily, I guess. Yeah, I'm with you that I like the anime version more.
I did get slightly when I was talking to you, I somehow remembered the camera thing, then forgot it for 5 minutes and mixed it up, and then I remembered again when you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Too bad
the
you
cadence.
couldn't have been my sister's child. That one hurts. And I'm not. And I don't want to detract from. These are both like amazing, like incredible stretches. Like both the anime and the manga. Like these are, this is like something that stays with you. Like it's impactful.
Yeah. She's the only character where I remember her fucking name.
Exactly. It's like impactful and it's real in both circumstances. Like I'm not.
Isn't she's a really girl from Rent a Girlfriend too?
I think so, but. Let me make my stupid point
It's like
regardless of my issues I have with it, like logistically and realistically, like these are both in both versions. It's touching on things that definitely happen in which stories don't normally address, and having it be something that someone is having to deal with while piloting a giant robot. That's what makes Bokurano great. Like, good luck finding that anywhere else, idiots. like I don't want to detract from how. And if I'd read the manga first, maybe I'd like the manga version more. Maybe that's what would be like in my mind stuck with me, and I would have totally like bought it and stuff. But something about having them side by side just makes me prefer one more than the other. But I don't want to take that away from. This is probably one of the like craziest and most important and some of the better stuff that happens in Bokurano. Like this shit is great. Like, read this fucking manga. It'll stay with you.
I don't think this definitely isn't my favorite stretch in the manga version. In the anime it still is. Yeah. Although coming at it a second time, like Ho Girl, I remembered but also forgot how much I liked that part. I also remember really liking some of the later kids where they show some of the shenanigans.
All the Ushio stuff. That's the other guy I know the name of.
They hint at the shenanigans here, where after, two lights turn out, it's like, oh, one was her baby, and everyone looks around going, wait, but one of us is not in the contract then. Yes. And that mystery seems really stupid when it comes up. But the payoff is really good. I like where it goes. I don't want to
take from my issues with the thing. Don't take away from all the emotional stuff with Chizuru. I love all this stuff. Like I like that the way the teacher gets to her is like by saying she's prettier than her sister. I like her hang-ups with the boys. I like her relationship with her sister, where they have this kind of like confrontational but very caring thing. I like this, this flashback scene we get afterwards. Like all this stuff is. I love her as a character. Like I love all this stuff, and it's tragic, and it's all this is like real fucking pathos right here. Like me having problems with like the logistics and how far it goes, that shouldn't detract from the fact that this is just great fucking writing, and a story, and this should all be celebrated. Like
yeah. The flashback with the car guy is just odd.
It's a little weird.
It's a weird.
It goes a little long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's charming. I remember in the anime, isn't this just bad? Isn't the dad in a monkey suit or something? It's a totally unrelated.
He is in a fucking monkey suit. Oh my god! I totally forgot about that.
He's like doing a play or some shit. And
she comes downstairs and her dad's a monkey. It's like, what?
This side story, this B plot with Chizuru is probably better than the anime one. But
yes.
I do. I mean, it is charming. They eventually find out the guy who robbed them just compulsively steals cars, apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, he doesn't even take them. He just drives one around and gets in a new one and just keeps going until someone catches him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Oh wait, go back one. That was a good face. Fuck. Why are you so incompetent?
This one, that one. Why are
right
the pages yellow?
Right there. When she says, "I'm going for a walk," next to that.
How come you're all so laid back? Oh, that one. Yeah, she's
one
like,
more.
yeah.
One more.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's looking up and to the left, like JFK. I don't know.
I mean, this is also really well done character-wise, because in the flashback and in the scenes where she's an early high school student. I think she's middle school at the start, but yeah, she's much more like energetic and much more like talking about boys, gross, haha, much more like playful. And the Chizuru we've known since the beginning of the story is much more cold and stoic and has this look in her eyes, and you're like, what's up with that girl? And now you know. That's very well done.
Man, remember in the anime in episode 1 when they look at her butt in the swimsuit
Yeah.
and she's like mildly miffed.
That was good
yeah,
foreshadowing.
She was pregnant when that happened.
Yeah,
and that was
good foreshadowing
up.
too, where like men around her see her as like just this object. You know, that's how the guy who gets knifed sees her too. Like everyone the only people who care about her is because they're horny. Like it sucks. Also, speaking of good scenes, I do love when Kyrie, that's the fat kid, says you sure are good at running. To Kako. I love that.
That was such a weird, subtle.
No, but remember, it's not just about running away from your problems and being a fucking cowardly piece of shit. He runs to get the bullies snacks. Like, he's also saying, like, you're a good runner for the bullies. Like, that's so fucking funny. Oh, fuck, man. And also, I just want to point out, I don't care that she killed a bunch of innocent people. I'm with her all the way. Like, shoot all these guys with laser beams. If you can kill their whole families, go ahead. I mean, how good of families were they going to be anyway when their dad was an evil rapist?
That's one of those things where it's like, it's not good, but if I was a military
I'm not going to be the one to be like, you shouldn't be doing this. I'm just going to stand there and go, I can't judge.
I don't even want to go there. Let's just all pretend this never happened.
Look, everyone in Bokurano has like fucked up shit that happens to them. No one has it worse than her. I don't care what no one in the story can give her shit, especially not her fucking sister. Fuck her.
Yeah, it is kind of a comedy moment when they realize, like, wait, the robot is attacking the city. Oh no!
Yeah, she's like that Kako guy was a shit pilot, right? Like he's stepping on people, running, going, "What? Give me the chair, I'll do it." Right? Starts killing people and blasting. Like,
I also like the detail that like the last fight only had one casualty somehow.
Oh yes, that was who was that? That was because the robot like
that would be Ho Girl, right?
Well, I don't think they're counting the pilots when they say that. I think someone might have died just
No, I mean her fight, though. Her fight.
No, that was Ho Girl's fight, yeah. Because remember, that's the one where the fighter respectfully goes, like, not here because there are people, and steps away. So, but I wonder if someone had like a heart attack or got stepped on by accident anyway. Like that's kind of more realistic. That's kind of funny.
Some guy was leaning over to get a picture with his camera and fell off the rail.
Also, I like the Ho Girl did this a lot too. I guess is what we're calling her. But I like Shizuru's like kind of jaded like lines where I like how she still has a bit of humanity where she's like. I mean, obviously she has the crying, breaking down scene with her sister, but I like when when Kako is trying to force himself on her, and he's like, "What do we have to lose?" And she's like, "Maybe not on the outside, but we do on the inside." I thought that was quite a poignant line, where it was like, we still have our self-respect and like, you know.
In translation, I read said something like, "You wouldn't lose your body, but you would lose your soul," or something like that.
That works too. Like, yeah, she still has like that bit of her that even though she's so dead inside in so many ways, she's still like she's kind of being nice to him in a weird way, and she's very unreasonably like
she takes the attempted rape
with
very well.
She offers him. I mean, I guess you know why, it's because she's used to it, but like but still you get the point that the fact that like she just kind of feels bad for the guy and doesn't want him to have to suffer any more than he has, even if he made a terrible mistake near the end because he's freaking out because he's a kid, you know, like. But she offers him tea after he tried to rape her. And she threatened him with a knife. She's like, "Do you want that tea anywhere, or should we just stop here?"
She's just so fucking done. She's
so done, yeah.
Like her life has went so poorly. She doesn't give a fuck. She just wants it to be over.
Her and Ho Girl are like wise beyond their years, but like for the wrong reasons. Like this is the bad version of that, where she's been forced to grow up, but in the worst way possible, and it's horrifying.
At the very end, when she is just kind of nonchalant, she's just like Dung Beetle, just put me in one of Zer's crevices.
Oh, God,
just goodbye, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't think she's even completely dead yet. She's going to die in 2 seconds after she teleports.
She's got Sensei's baby. It's
sad.
It's the worst.
And I mean, it says it takes like 10 minutes for the baby to die.
Oh God.
That's even more fucked up.
That's so sad.
I didn't need to know that. Thanks, Jaws. It's in the
manga.
It's in the manga.
I don't remember it. Okay.
It is sad.
I imagined when that happened. I did imagine obviously this couldn't actually happen like medically. I imagine like a much schmaltzier version of this story where they like tried to medically like save the baby or something.
Well, remember
by, like,
that the baby
out.
is very early stage.
I know.
Like she has no belly whatsoever.
I said
like
medically it couldn't happen, but I was imagining like a different version where the anime director again tried to clean up the story and make it more wholesome. And it's like,
more,
oh god.
More interesting is the fact that Zerth itself recognizes a pre a pre fully formed fetus as a living being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Zerth was twice as strong during the fight.
I mean, he is very overpowered once she starts fighting. He just stabs that big pear-shaped fucking guy right in the belly and shoots laser beams inside of it and is like done. Interesting detail. This is stupid to bring up after all we've been through, but the weird world building detail where the fact that they can't take a sample of Zerth, not because they can't cut him, because they feel psychologically unable to cut him, is very odd.
Okay.
Unless your translation was different. I was reading the Viz.
Like I think it was that they could not touch it. Like there was, it wasn't said in a way, but I imagine it like
mine
being
said,
like a sort of force field in between it.
I don't think so. I think maybe these are just up to the translator. But what mine implied was that they felt uneasy trying to do it. Like the closer they got to trying to remove a sample, they felt like they couldn't, or they were like scared. Like it was like a psychological force keeping them from being able to. Because I was thinking, because when they said it first, I was reading the speech bubbles, and the first speech bubble says like we weren't able to get a sample, and I was like, oh, that makes sense because he's made out of like alien metal. But I was like, wait a second, Zerth is always getting smashed and bits of him are falling off, and he seems like susceptible to damage from like falling against the environment. Like I don't think he's indestructible to like a really strong metal cutting him or a torch or something. And then it's like, oh yeah, we couldn't even like do it because we found ourselves unable to whenever we tried. And I was like, that's weird.
It's definitely a more interesting.
Yeah, like that he permeates a field of being like, nah.
I mean, as we go along, it's kind of implied that Zerth is like of the essence of the universe in a weird way, like he's almost God.
Yeah. Yeah, Zerth isn't built,
I don't know.
I mean, right now there's no way for them to know this, but when they're like thinking of him as an alien, an extraterrestrial technology, they're not incorrect, but he's much more like extra physical technology, where he's like, it's not like some aliens built Zerth. It's like the laws of the universe.
Talking triangles shit.
Yeah, the laws of the universe built Zerth, kind of. Like this is meant to happen in a weird way. It's not. They're. Yeah, I'm spoiling stuff, kind of, but not really.
It's. I mean, this is just drop piecemeal as we go along. We won't get too into it, but it's fine.
Oh, also, we got a little hint here with a dungeon meshi talking to someone in Zerth. Yeah, and he's being like, you think I'm being too mean? Well, why don't you fuck off anyway? What are you doing here? Ha ha ha. That was fucked up of him to bring up that Kyrie and Shizuru were talking. I mean, in a way, Kako got it good not knowing what Chizuru's real deal was when she was like, I've done it before. She's like, oh yeah, I've had like a bunch of grown-ups in me, but not you, fucker. Instead, she just thinks him and her and Fatty were boyfriend and girlfriend, which is not the worst thing to think as you die. Yeah.
Which is, yeah. I guess the reason his mind went there was probably that's the only person he feels better than.
Well, and Dung Beetle put it in his head. He was like, they're on the phone. They've been talking an awful lot lately.
Oh, right.
And also
that's true.
He directly asked Shizu if it was true, and she said like, who is it? Is it Kyrie? And she's like, maybe. It's none of your business. So that just fermented it in his head, where it's like, why is she not denying it? Ah, yeah. Also, now Fat Kid is going to get killed when he goes to school because he didn't get Kako to come along because he's dead. So, fuck. Yeah.
Oh, wait, he's not the next one.
No, he's not the next one, but he has to go to school. Yeah. Because his parents don't know he's piloting Zerth. Gosh.
Damn. Well, I think that's
that, yeah. Next, we get this guy. reasonable kid.
like mature, sensitive boy.
Clever nerd. Yeah.
The guy I always forget about.
Yes.
Well, I think it's time to end the stream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everyone. Next
Goodbye.
on the next one, Jaws
Sir.
chooses a new manga. Exciting.
I do.
Wee.